Captain John McKay strode onto the bridge of the USS Reliant, bracing himself for the inevitable chaos. The ship's alarms blared as the emergency lights cast an eerie red glow across the cramped compartment. "Status report," barked McKay. His EXO commander, Miles Walker, spun to face him. "It's not good, sir. Earth's entire power grid just went down without warning. All our systems are on backups, but we've lost contact with command." McKay clenched his jaw. As far as he knew, a simultaneous global blackout was unprecedented in human history, and the timing could not possibly be a coincidence. Not with the Krogan invasion fleet, less than 2 days out from Earth. This had to be the opening salvo of an attack. "Get me eyes on the planet," he ordered. "I want to know what the hell is going on down there." Walker nodded and turned to the sensor station where Lieutenant Akio Sasaki worked furiously, trying to reorient the external cameras toward Earth. A few moments later, the main viewer flickered to life, revealing a dark orb clouded in smoke and flames dotting the night side. It was a jarring sight where bright cities once glowed across continents. "My God," Walker muttered, "it's like we've been bombed back to the Stone Age." But McKay noticed something his EXO had not. Those flames raging across Earth's surface were not explosions. They were fires, campfires, millions of them, each a tiny defiant spark in the darkness. "Zoom in," he told Sasaki. "Let's take a closer look." The view screen zoomed toward North America, revealing the eastern seaboard, or where it should have been, at least. Instead, all they saw was blackness, until a single point of light caught the captain's eye. There, he jabbed a finger. Enhanced Sector Lima Echo 2. The camera zoomed again. The light expanded, becoming a raging bonfire surrounded by smaller fires and clusters of vehicles with headlights ablaze. Tiny figures humans milled about the area, seemingly organizing into groups. It was a community banding together for survival and safety in numbers. McKay's brow furrowed in confusion. He tapped the communications panel on his command chair. "Bridge to engineering. Adams, what's our power and operational status?" "We're steady for now, sir," replied the chief engineer. "Backup fusion reactors are online. Life support is nominal and weapons are still charging. But without the relay stations back home, I can't say for how long." "Understood," said McKay before closing the channel and turning back to his EXO. "Get satellite imagery from every allied nation on Earth. I want to know if this blackout is global or localized." For the next few minutes, Walker coordinated with Sasaki to access imaging satellites still functioning in orbit over continents across the globe. The results stunned McKay. In nation after nation, the story played out again. Blackness punctuated by fires and headlights. Entire cities gone dark, forcing people into the streets by the millions. But instead of anarchy and chaos, they saw only calm determination etched on those faces illuminated in firelight. "Unbelievable," Walker whispered. 300 years to build a global power grid. 300 seconds to destroy it. By all accounts, these people should be rioting and looting in anything not nailed down. But look at them, they're just getting by. A warning tone interrupted them. "Krogan ships exiting FTL Drive," announced Sasaki. "The invasion fleet has arrived in Earth orbit." McKay straightened. This was it. Red alert. Battle stations. Alarms blared again as the bridge darkened further in crisis lighting. The captain opened fleet-wide communications. "All ships, this is Captain McKay. The Krogan have arrived. Stand by to repel borders and prepare to defend Earth at all costs." He closed the channel and watched the tactical display intently as a cloud of red hostile contacts encroached on the blue symbols representing Earth's defense fleet. McKay allowed himself a grim smile. The Krogan were in for a nasty surprise if humanity would fold after a simple blackouting. The invaders outnumbered Earth ships 3-1, but the defenders had the home field advantage. They were also defending more than just a planet. This was a fight to determine which species would dominate the galaxy, and the merciless Krogan seemed hellbent on extermination. And McKay knew Earth's survival now depended on buying enough time for backup power to reach critical thresholds in the fleet's weapons and defenses. If his ships could hold out long enough to unleash their payload of nuclear warheads and railgun slugs, they stood a chance of repelling the invasion. Maybe. For now, the crews of those ships waited in darkness, listening to the groans and pings of their vessels as bulkheads and hulls contracted in the frozen void of space. They waited for the enemy to make their move. They didn't have to wait long. Krogan boarding craft suddenly detached from motherships hanging back near the moon's orbit. The angular assault ships surged forward, making straight for Earth's orbital defenses. McKay opened strategic communications, contacting the captains of other military vessels and stations nearby. All batteries opened fire. The void erupted into a firestorm as both sides unleashed the fury of their arsenals. While the battle raged far overhead, oblivious crowds gathered by firelight down on the surface. They cooked meat on spits and brewed coffee in soot-stained pots. They shared food, water, and supplies without question. Some charged electronics and machinery from idling vehicles. Others labored to erect shelters and tend the injured. No one complained about the darkness or cold. No one demanded electricity be restored for their gaming consoles and televisions. Instead, these people rediscovered conversation, community, and continuity with their ancestors who existed perfectly fine without modern amenities. Satellites, networks, financial systems, and national grids now meant nothing. Only people helping people mattered. When an alien scout ship penetrated Earth's defenses and descended to capture slaves, the Krogan boarding party was shocked by what they encountered. Rather than cowering captives, they faced a human counterattack. The aliens had expected panicked and helpless refugees, but these humans exhibited no fear, even when staring down the barrels of Krogan rifles. A human leader soon emerged to parley, flanked by hard-looking men carrying axes, spears, and bows. One even toted a sword. The Krogan commander was astonished. With transportation paralyzed and cities now dangerous dead zones, he realized centralized authority had fragmented across Earth. Somehow, though, these micro-communities remained disciplined and defiant. The Krogan attempted negotiations, but the human leader refused to even acknowledge demands for surrender, instead insisting they depart Earth and trouble its people no further. Stalemate soon turned to scuffle. Then 3 Krogan invaders fell dead with arrows through their eyes. The rest hastily withdrew back to orbit, astonished that humans without power somehow resisted advanced alien conquerors armed with firearms and spacecraft. They could not understand why Earth's people hadn't descended into terrified mobs. Nor could they conceive how such a seemingly primitive race executed a coordinated global defense, almost as if the power loss had been part of the plan. Of course it wasn't, but that uncertainty gave Krogan warlords pause. Destroying power grids and technology proved ineffective since humans adapted rapidly, and those raging bonfires signaled billions of belligerent targets. Occupation and enslavement were clearly impossible. So the Krogan reluctantly withdrew their battered invasion fleet. Humanity's decentralized resilience and determination to help each other had saved Earth from conquest. As news of victory spread, celebrations erupted across continents. McKay's bridge grew sheared as hostile markers disappeared from tactical displays showing Earth's surface and orbit. Down below, resilient crowds hugged each other in relief, sharing food and blankets as bonfires raged through the night. Humanity's future glowed bright with promise, thanks to ordinary people who came together to win an extraordinary victory, despite all odds and the darkness. Because humans always find a way to shine light, even in life's bleakest moments.